Hello, hello. Welcome to Just Jenna. You have no idea how excited I am that you're here. I'll be sharing the wisdom, questions, and curious little truths I've gathered along the way. From brilliant thinkers to weird memes, from ancient texts to the knowing of nature. Some of what I've learned came from books, some from breakdowns, some from simply paying attention, and some from fumbling through it myself. My hope is that these stories expand you the way that they've expanded me. So maybe, just maybe, you don't have to trip over the same parts of life I did. And if you do trip and fall, it's okay. I won't tell anyone. Hello, my little beans. My little human beans. I need to spill the beans. I have recorded this week's episode so many times. Probably 3 to 4 hours of content. I'm not kidding. I have trashed every single minute of audio I have recorded. Why? Because I've been really hard on myself this week. Why? Because I'm dealing with hormones that they're unbeknownst to me. And I'm still navigating what it is and what's going on. And it's one of those things I'm navigating. I don't exactly know what phase I'm in, but I know I'm transitioning out of the hellscape that I was just in last week. Okay. So I'm starting fresh. I'm starting new, and I'm just going to keep it moving for right now. Once I'm able to articulate myself a little bit better, I will do that. But I guess if you're dealing with any hormonal, I'm going to say issues, hormonal changes, hormones, period. If you're dealing with that, I give you the utmost, just like grace. And I hope you're also giving yourself grace. And I'm learning that I really need to start giving myself a lot more grace in these phases and shifts that I'm going through. Let me just say, I was taking a hormonal birth control. I was taking the pill since I was 16, 17 years old. I was taking that. Then I got an IUD when I was like 20, 21. And then I got my IUD removed in March of 2024. And so it's been over a year and a half, over a year now of me just like letting my body return to its center. And it has been so confusing. It's been so confusing. And I don't have anything of value to say besides I have been so confused, and it's just been one of those things. Proceeding forward. On Monday, I started to record an episode because I felt like I have a message. Not I have a message, but like there is a message worth sharing. Because I know my audience at this point is like my 5 besties and family members. Shout out you guys. I love you the most. But I just think this message is so worth talking about. But the reason why the message, I'll get to the point, but the reason why the message I was trying to share on Monday wasn't landing is because I was coming from a place of trying to help other people before I allowed this information to integrate in my life and then help myself. Classic. I'm also still trying and navigating that part of life as well. The topic that I wanted to talk about with everyone this week was stand for nothing and you'll fall for anything. This topic to me feels so important because, especially as women, we're always going to be pulled in a million different directions if we let it happen. And especially with what I'm starting to understand about my brain, I'm assuming a lot of your guys' brains as well, we have this knee-jerk reaction to allow to be pulled in a million different directions if we feel like we are helping, if we feel like we are adding value, if we feel seen, appreciated, or useful. Okay? It is not our jobs to do that for everybody and everything. I didn't know this. I didn't know I could pick and choose which way I wanted to be pulled. I didn't know that saying no to a certain area or direction in life was even an option. I didn't know I would feel good by doing it either. I think that's the other thing. Your mind is like tricking you, telling you that you're going to feel like a bad person for not helping. You're going to feel like a whatever for not doing this, doing that, self-sacrificing, that whole song and dance. And it's just not true. And the reason I want to talk about this topic still, even though I don't really know what I'm talking about yet, is because I just want to start making people think about this. I'm not saying anything to, like, I don't have any answers here. I don't have any answers, but I just want you guys to start thinking about this for your own self. Stand for nothing and you'll fall for anything. How do you know what you stand for? I think when I first started learning about all of this was a couple of months ago. I went on to Google and I looked up a list of core values. I looked up a list of core values and I was like, what even are my values? Like, I don't even know. I couldn't even just like, if someone were to ask me, what are your top 3 values? I wouldn't have been able to give an answer. And that bothered me, that I didn't have a core set of values. So I went into Google and I Googled a core set of values list. I want to encourage everyone to do this. Go on to Google and do this and look at what core values you already embody or core values you wish to embody. Pick like 2. I would say like minimum 2. Just pick 2. But you don't need 10. That's like insane. Just pick a couple of core values that you are ready to embody for the rest of your life. Pick core values you know you will be able to sustain no matter the storm, no matter what is going on. These are your core values. Once you are able to identify these core values, and you have to find them important, not anyone else, you have to find them important. Once you're able to identify these things and you will be able to embody these characteristics, you will know when a person, place, thing, or opportunity tries to pull you out of your value, pull you out of alignment, it's a sign. It is a sign for you to clock, to be aware of, and to look at this person, place, thing, whatever opportunity with a side eye, and you need to do some reevaluating. For example, if one of your values you choose for yourself is honesty, and let's say you work at a company and they're almost advising you to lie a little bit to like customers, or to be a little dishonest or withhold the truth or anything of that nature. That means that this company, these people are not in alignment with where you are, and they will pull you into a different direction in your life where you don't want to go. It's not that it's a right place to go or a wrong place to go. It's just not where you want to go, because you have already chosen your values and what you stand for, period. Because like I said, if you stand for nothing, you will fall for anything. Again, with the honesty example, if you choose honesty and you're dating someone and they make you feel like you can't be honest because of the way that they act, judge, perceive, behave in general, then that's a sign you shouldn't be with them. You shouldn't be with that person if they're making you feel like they're trying to pull you out of alignment. Now, this is just the values section in terms of figuring out what you stand for. I think the values is a really great place to go if you've never really started looking into that for yourself. It will allow you to clock and to note whether people, places, or things or opportunities are in alignment with where it is that you want to go. And it's not saying that if something, again, like if this guy is in your life and he's making you feel like you can't be honest, and if you end up staying with him, it doesn't make it right or wrong. It just makes it so you're falling for something that isn't what you stand for. I have a feeling it's going to make you maybe not feel the most empowered. And I just want everyone to feel empowered. Genuinely, I want everyone to feel empowered to be themselves and to make their own choices and to make choices that feel aligned with who they are. But honestly, if that's not one of your core values, that's fine. Just pick something that feels aligned with you. Moving right along, I think starting to ask yourself what you want and giving yourself the space and the grace to hear your answer is huge. This has taken me about 2 years now, where I started asking myself, Jenna, what do you want? Because first of all, I didn't even know I could ask myself that question. I had no idea I was allowed. It wasn't anything I was thinking about ever. And I guess allow this to be your permission slip. You are allowed to ask yourself what you want. And I would advise you start asking yourself what you want every single day, because to me, it feels like it not that it changes every day, but there's going to be a new set of circumstances that you're going to encounter every single day that are going to require you to discern whether something's right or wrong for you, whether this is in alignment with what you want, with what you don't want. But figuring out, like I said, figuring out your values will allow you to have this like unshakable core, this foundation for your wants to kind of bend and twist and play around within this box, if you will. I'm not trying to say box to make it feel limited, but in this box of your foundational core values. Because playing within this box, don't think of it as limited. Think of it as the most freeing thing you can do, because now you have the opportunity to play within like these like safety barricades almost of like just it's protecting you on your adventure towards your life and your wants and your dreams and your desires. But you really need to give yourself space to listen to what it is that's coming up for you. Like I said, it has taken me about 2 years now where I genuinely feel as though I've finally given myself enough time and enough exposure to life and enough exposure to exploring my wants that I'm able to confidently and comfortably say what I want now to myself and to a select few loved ones in my life. I'm not saying it on the internet. No, I'm not doing that. These feel very, very precious and something like I would like to protect for myself at this point. But just giving yourself the space to explore these, I would encourage you to journal. I always encourage journaling, but if journaling isn't your forte, you can bring out your phone, do a little bit of voice memoing, a little back and forth conversation with yourself. And I think sometimes people are confused when I say back and forth conversation with yourself. So what I mean by that is sit down with yourself, open a notebook and say, okay, Emma, what does Emma want? And maybe Emma's first thought is, I want to be a librarian. So she'll write that down. That is a want of hers. She wants to be a librarian. Now, because this is a conversation, it doesn't just stop there. You ask, why? Emma, why? Why does Emma want to be a librarian? And then you allow yourself to start talking in response to that why. Write it all down. Why do I want to be a librarian? I want to be a librarian because I love literature and I love books and I love reading, and I think, I don't really know. Whatever the hours, you like the hours. Maybe you like the outfits. Maybe you like the idea of being a librarian. Maybe you want to start programs within the library. Maybe you're trying to advocate for literary programs and all of these sorts of things. Write it all down. Then you need to ask yourself more questions based off those answers. So go into a specific of it. Go into a specific thing like, I see I'm interested in starting a program within my library. Like, why do I want to do that? Then you're going to start to uncover, I want to do that because I'm trying to bridge the gap between the time kids have after school and the time that they go to bed, like allowing them to jump into a new world that isn't on technology. Like, that's what I care about. That's what I want to do. Why do I want to do that? Well, maybe it's because you have read a bunch of studies and you're super informed on technology's just infiltration in childhood brains and all of these sorts of different things. And I hope you see where I'm going. I feel like I should have picked a better example because I'm not exactly going where it is that I feel like I want to go. But do you see what I'm saying is like you need to have conversations with yourself about each and every want and each and every desire you have, because you're going to be able to start uncovering the very simple thing, the very simple want, the very simple desire underneath all these things. And once you start doing this, you'll be able to start recognizing that there's patterns. I will share with you the root of all of my wants, all of my desires. The root underneath all of my wants and all of my desires is to feel secure, stable, and seen. Under every single want and every single desire I have picked them apart the past couple of years. Why, Jenna? Why, Jenna? Why, Jenna? Why? Why? Why this? Why that? What do I think it's going to give me? What do I think it's going to make me feel like? Does this come from me, or is this coming from the way that I was raised? Is this coming from me, or is this because of an early childhood developmental thing that happened to me? Is this coming from me, or is this coming from my friend? Is this coming from me, or is this coming from the way that I want to be perceived? Like, where is it coming from? If it's coming from me, and I've been able to discern now what is coming from me to the best of my ability. When I say to discern what's coming from me, it's just like knowing what is coming from that place in my heart that only could be named through deep investigation within yourself. Your wants are not going to come from anyone else. No one else is going to be able to tell you what you want. No one else is going to be able to figure that out for you. You're not going to be able to go on social media and it will be revealed there. It won't be revealed through what your friend wants and what your parents want. No, it's like deep, deep, deep within you. And once you're able to get to that point about your wants and your desires, you need to have conversations with yourself and ask yourself why. And get curious with the utmost sincere grace and curiosity. Don't judge yourself for anything that comes up, because you're going to find out there is something at the root of these wants and desires. And once you're able to uncover the root, you will be able to not only have, like I said, I'm going to circle back to your value system. You're going to have your value system that is your foundational anchor, the place where you get to play within. And then when you have your root of where it is you want to go, you are going to be able to discern what people, places, and opportunities are coming into your life and if they are right for you moving forward. Because first, do they align with your values? Yes or no? That is going to be a simple yes or no. You do not need to waste your time at all if something is not within alignment with your values, period. You say no. I feel like, and I hate the term wasted time because I don't believe it is wasted time. But I believe now I have spent a lot of time, which again, it's not wasted because I needed that time to learn a lot of these lessons, to integrate a lot of these things now. But I no longer will be, for example, Because also one of my core values is honesty. So now I know if I'm ever in a situation where someone is pulling me out of alignment, requesting me to do something that doesn't feel right with me, or if I feel like I have to be dishonest in an environment, I know that environment is not right for me, and I'm not going to be wasting my time giving that environment, giving that person the benefit of the doubt. It's not my job. It's not my responsibility. My job and my responsibility is to stay true to myself no matter what. And so it's a simple, I'm out. I am out. Deuces, double deuces. Chuck them up, get them gone, get them out. And so when you have that core set of values for yourself, you are able to say yes and no a lot more quicker in your life, and you will not be dragged down. Obviously, there are times in your life where you do need to be dragged down. You do need to go to the depths of a place for you to learn a lesson. But I don't necessarily believe that you need to learn every single lesson the hard way. I do not. Some, yes, 100%. But there are some things where it's like you can avoid a lot of agony, pain, misery, sadness by just understanding what your values are. And understanding then what the root of your wants and your desires are to help you decide if this is the right choice moving forward or not. Because if it is not in alignment with those deep desires that you have, those root desires that you have, it's just what life does. It just wants to constantly pull people. It constantly wants to move you. It constantly wants to do things. And so use that to your advantage. The more you say no, the more aligned opportunities come your way. And I know it feels like this, I had my battles, and I'm still learning about scarcity and a scarcity mindset and what that means for me. But I know for the longest time, I thought, oh my God, I have to say yes, because what if I don't get another opportunity? What if? I'm just learning, like, that's just genuinely not how it works. It is just not how it works. Through my experience, the more I say no, the more I say no, the better opportunities come into my life. The more I say no to a guy coming into my life wanting to be a potential suitor, the more I say no when I know immediately they're not in my value system, or immediately they're not going to be able to add value to the root of my wants and my desires, the more I say no to that, the quicker I say no to that, the quicker a more aligned guy comes in my life. It has been proven to me time and time again. Same with jobs, same with other opportunities, same with friendships, same with people. The quicker you're able to say no and to discern, the universe is like, damn, like they mean business, okay. Because it's still, like I said, the universe still wants to move you. It still wants to push you forward. So the clearer you can get, not rigid, not like I have to have a red 2017 Chevy Sonic. That is exactly my need. No, not rigid like that. Rigid in the sense of knowing your truest, deepest root of your desire, and then knowing that that will be given to you. You have to close your eyes almost, like you need to dream with your eyes. I want to say like closed almost. I know everyone's like dream with your eyes wide open, but I'm like dream with your eyes closed. Like seriously. Understand this feeling that you want and name it. You have to be able to name it and allow it to just like be black. Like when you close your eyes, you see nothing. It's black. That's kind of the energy, I guess, that I'm speaking about here is yes, to get clear about your values and your wants, but no, the universe is going to keep giving you so many things and it's not going to be coming in the package that you think. So just release any expectations of what you think anything's going to look like, because that's not the point. But the point is, too, when you're journaling, when you're asking yourself questions, it is helpful to have a clear picture of what you want, but not to get stuck on the picture, to get curious about the picture, to ask yourself, what about why do I want a red car? Why do I want this type of car? It feels so important for me at this time in my life to have values that feel aligned with me and to understand what is the deepest root of my wants and my desires. Because I have seen a lot of people in my life doing things and saying yes to things and turning into people that they have expressed to me that they don't want to be. And I believe it's because a lot of people don't even recognize the importance of having a solid foundation within yourself. Like, think about every single business. Every single business has a mission statement. They have values that they stand by. Do they all follow through with it? Yes and no. But you're only in control of yourself. So, like, get a mission statement for yourself. Get a list of core values for yourself. What are you driven by? What are you motivated by? What do you want? What are your goals? Like, the same way a business does. Do that for yourself. Do that for yourself and stay true to yourself. Because there are so many lanes that you can go down. And none of them are right or wrong. And that's the beauty of this experience that we're all having, is that nothing is inherently right or wrong or good and bad. Everything's neutral until you attach a story to it. But to feel a sense of being proud of yourself, I have found to be, God, it's just one of the best feelings ever. And I usually don't ever try to rank things above anything and below another, but being proud of who you are is one of the most important things. And you are going to be able to feel proud of yourself if you are able to stay true to yourself. And how do you stay true to self if you don't know yourself? How would a business conduct business if they don't know what their values are? How would a business be able to conduct themselves or to move in any type of industry if they have no idea who they are? You need to know who you are, and it starts with understanding your values and understanding your wants and getting curious about your wants and try to get to the root. And I have never made a promise I haven't kept. I have never once made a promise I haven't kept, so I feel very hesitant to say this right now, but I feel like I want to, and I think I might just let it loose. I promise you, the simple answer and the answer that makes you feel calm is the right answer. That's your want. That's your desire. Because like I said, you're going to start picking it apart. You got to pick apart your wants and desires. Pick it apart, ask more questions, ask good questions. Pretend you're talking to someone you have a crush on and like how much you really want to know the intricacies and why their brain got to that point. Ask yourself questions like that. When you get down to it, when you find, quote unquote, find it, it's going to be simple, it's going to feel true, and it's going to feel calm. That is when you know you have found gold. And just keep picking at it. I have one more thing I want to say and then I'm going to wrap it up. When you start asking yourself what you want, and if you've never asked yourself this question before, be prepared for shame and judgment to set in. Because this is your ego trying to protect yourself from yourself. As soon as you feel shame, like if you say you want something and you feel like, and if you feel shame around what it is that you're saying you want, this is not a sign that it's bad. This is not a sign that you need to turn away and shut your notebook and stop writing. This is a sign you found the treasure map, baby. Shame points you to a treasure map, but you just got to keep digging. Keep digging If judgment pops up, if guilt pops up, like if you feel guilty for wanting something, that is not a sign that you need to turn away. This is a sign that you found the treasure map. Especially if you've never asked yourself these questions before, you're going to feel horrible. You're going to feel weird. You're going to feel embarrassed. But that's a sign that you're finding something invaluable. Because once you find that and you can start picking at that, then you can find your truest desires and your truest wants. Which, may I remind you, the universe wants to fulfill. The universe wants to move you. And I don't want to say like the sooner you figure out what you want, because that like alludes to the fact that you need to like rush through this. No, this is a process. Also, I'm like, yeah, I did explain to you guys that I'm like, oh, I found it. It took me 2 years. But I guarantee it's constantly going to be shifting and constantly going to be evolving. I just have a better understanding now, I guess, of the shifts that happen and the things that are moving around. And I'm just able to navigate it at a quicker pace. So don't rush yourself into this. This is the work of a lifetime. I ask myself every single day what I want. I ask myself every single day what I want. Okay? I would encourage you to do the same. But within the same breath, the quicker you are able to figure out what you want, the quicker you are able to embody 2 core values, the fast track to your dreams and the life of all the things you want and desire will be yours for the taking. Because when you're able to say no and not ruminate and think and question and turn over and overthink, like, is this right? Is this wrong? Da 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 da. You're able to save so much time. So much time. And when you're not sitting around ruminating, you're able to see like, oh my God, the universe is putting already another thing in my path. Perfect. And it's going to be within alignment with your values, because the universe wants to move you and it wants you to be happy. But you need to be clear with the universe of like, these are my rules though. Like, by the way, I'll keep moving. I'll keep doing all of these things, but I have rules. I have rules I need to play by. It's hot to have rules. Okay, it is. It's my opinion. I did just black out. I've been staring at this tree this entire time. I hope this episode was able to add a spark of excitement and to start asking yourself, what are your values? Talk about this with your friends, your siblings, your parents, people you love, people you care about. Talk about your values. Talk about this with people. No one is talking about this. I started talking about it with my friends, but I just would recommend it. Like, find what feels good for you. Allow it to change if you want it to change, but I really would recommend like finding like 2 where you're like, no, I'm going to sustain this for the rest of my life. I am not going to bend on this for the rest of my life. And if you're looking at the core list of values and something is like, then don't pick it. Don't do it. There's like hundreds of words you could pick from. Do you know what I mean? So just pick 2 that you know you can just stand by for the rest of your life, hand in hand. That way you know when you're in alignment or not. Anyways, like I said, talk about it with your loved ones. Get excited about values. Get excited about embodiment. Get excited about asking yourself what you want. I'm telling you, it is the privilege of a lifetime to ask yourself what you want. And for that, I know I'm so lucky, and I have no one besides all of my ancestors before me to give me this privilege of asking myself genuinely what I want. And maybe remember that too. We're so privileged to be able to even ask ourselves this question. Like, it's an honor that we get to have wants, have dreams, have desires, have time to pick it apart and be able to follow those things. I feel so lucky. I feel so blessed every day about it. And I hope you do too. So let's just find our values that feel good for us and start asking yourself what you want. Give yourself grace and space. This is a private journey. If you want to talk about this with anyone, I would recommend someone you trust deeply, 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 completely and wholly. Perhaps a therapist, perhaps like your mom, perhaps a best friend. But if you don't have a 100% in any of those, keep it to yourself for now. Get a journal. Get a journal. You got it. You got it. And you'll just see the fast track. The world will start opening up for you. So, I'm feeling a lot better now. I'm feeling so much better now. I don't know if I said this at the beginning of the episode, but I tried to record this episode on Monday. It is now Sunday. And I'm happy I was able to still deliver this message. And yeah, I hope everyone has a great week. And oh my God, I'm like, DM me what your values are. I would love to know what everyone's values are. Seriously, I think it's so sweet. I think it's so sweet to stand for something. It is so sweet. And you're all so sweet. Anyways, I will catch up with y'all next week. And yeah. I want to say I love you, so I will. Okay, love you guys.